It all starts with my brother. The things we could have done together. But he chose a slightly more righteous path. Let me explain. I was born September the 23rd, year unknown. Well, not so much unknown as forgotten. I was christened Eos. I regularly celebrate my birthday on the 23rd, although sometimes, like a leap year, other dates crop up, which can throw up tremendous problems in my line of work. Some things take a lot of planning. Other things are more spur of the moment. In 1983, Flight 771 was not planned. The whole thing was blamed on the AN organisation, which I'm sure you can understand was torturous for me. Now I know how Alonso del Rossi felt. Alonso del Rossi was a struggling artist in Italy, 1491. He was also responsible for the painting of the most famous fictitious lunch in history. It was a joke. They stole the painting and hid it in the house of his greatest rival. Leonardo da Vinci found it some time later and tried to throw it out, declaring the work horrible. Then a peasant saw it, dropped to his knees and declared da Vinci a genius. Leonardo only painted twice in his life. True story. Eof's attempts to make the world a better place have been mixed, to say the least. The same year that I was responsible for NASA wasting its money on the Mars Climate Orbiter, he was responsible for the only Legoland to open outside of Europe, in California. That's his retaliation? By the way, you do not want to know what's out there. Trust me. I'm not all bad, though. I was present at the birth of Divi Filius Augustus, and he turned out all right, didn't he? I was the voice whispering in LaRue's ear that inspired him to write the most famous novel of the 20th century. Previously, I've been responsible for the terminatory acts of Freud, Collins, Robert de Savile, but they were nothing with what was to come. One death doesn't make much difference. I was holidaying in Finland in 2008 when an opportunity arose, and I took it with, I think you'll agree, devastating effects. It's potentially fate that us two brothers married two sisters. He married the less ambitious of the two, Jean. Juliana was my wife. We married some years ago, and she was, until her death, the longest-lived former reigning monarch in the world. She'd been ill for some time, but there was still life in the old bird yet. Came home early one day, entered the sitting room, and there she was, lying on the sofa, cold to the touch. I had the unnerving feeling that I wasn't alone in the room. I turned round, and there he was sat, large as life. Eof walked over to me. "What have you done?" I shouted and attacked. He was able to restrain me, sadly. Always has been able to. He explained to me that it was for the best, that our happiness would be extinct by the end of the year. Oh, I forget. Sometimes we can predict future events. That comes in useful sometimes. So I made a promise to myself to punish him for his kindness. Jean was holidaying in Florida at that time, touring some novel or other. My wrath was like no other. 1,070 people lost their lives that day. The hurricane ripped through cities, devastated thousands of lives. 1,070 people. But only because they never found Jean's body. So I suppose it's 1,069, but who's counting? Oh, she's still alive. If you can call her existence a life. I wouldn't. I suppose Eof has known this whole time, although he did name the disaster after her. He was a little bit upset, but I've managed to avoid him at family gatherings and the like. I will release her. I promise him that. I promise you that. It will, of course, be on September the 23rd, 2015. Trust me. The world will more than have its hands full that day.